last Power 5 conference, and, probably won't be a Power 5 conference for much longer, the Pac-12. One of the best conferences in college football in 2023. This is going to be such a fun conference to watch, chock full of talent, and then it's all going to disappear next season and just spread out across the world of college football. But in this season, Mitch, the media predicts USC to win the Pac-12. The top 5 in order: USC, Washington, Utah, Oregon, and Oregon State. No real surprises there in those teams and order, but your pick for the best team in the Pac-12 in 2023.
I mean, it's going to be USC, right? I mean, it's USC. They have to be the best team in the conference because they have no other choice. If they're not the best team in the conference, not getting to a college football playoff, that's a huge disappointment for USC. Lincoln Riley has to win now, especially with Caleb Williams at the helm. Hopefully Alex Grinch, like we talked about earlier, figures out the defense and they become one of the big premier powerhouses in the country. It has to be USC at the top.
Okay. Yeah. I am gonna disagree with you, my friend. I'm going with Washington. I'm giving the Huskies the nod here for the best team in this conference. I think USC is justifiably the favorite to start this year, but I do think Washington is the best team. They came on strong at the end of last season. They have so much talent, and not just on one side of the ball. This is a stacked offense and a loaded defense. So I think this Washington team is probably the best roster, best team in the Pac-12. Can they put it together? We will see, but I'm going to give the Huskies the nod here. Your dark horse conference champion in 2023 in the Pac-12.
UCLA.
Ooh, okay.
UCLA. This was a 9-4 team last year. Quietly, 9-4. Finished in the top 25 last year. I mean, this is a team that is chock full of talent. Yeah, obviously Zach Charbonnet goes away, so the ground game is, a little bit depleted. But this was a really good team that happened to play in a very surprisingly really good competitive Pac-12. I think that maybe Utah takes a step back, maybe Oregon takes a step back, and UCLA puts himself in the conversation in those top 4 teams amongst USC, Washington, and Oregon State. So I'm going to go with UCLA as a dark horse.
Okay, yeah, UCLA picked 6th in the conference in the preseason. UCLA's got a lot of talent. I think there's potential there. The biggest question with them is at quarterback. They lose Dorian Thompson-Robinson, their longtime starter, and expected to start this year is a true freshman in Dante Moore. Now, he is a 5-star with a ton of hype, but when you're expecting to start a true freshman, that's sort of the worry there. How good does it actually look? But the potential is there. If that kid is as talented as we think he is, they could certainly be a surprising team this year. So I like that pick for UCLA. I'm going to go with Oregon State, one of our college football playoff contenders in our tier rankings a couple of weeks ago. They are 5th in this conference. They did not receive first place votes, but this Oregon State team is legit. This defense is legit. If DJ Uiagalelei can just put it together a little bit more of what we were supposed to see from him at Clemson, this could be a legitimate team. He doesn't even have to be great. He doesn't even have to be Heisman winner. That's how good this Oregon State team is. They just need him to be 60% of what he should have been, and I think they'll be a really good team. So give me the Beavers. Give me Oregon State for Dark Horse Conference champ.
I love that. I love that pick, and I'm going to talk about Oregon State here in just a little bit, but I love that pick for them as dark horse. By the way, Michael, we saw you last week. We see you again this week, buddy. Hey, what's going on, bub? Thanks for tuning in with us. Dallen, let's get into the overachieving team in the Pac-12, Dallen. Do you want to kick us off with that one?
Yeah, my overachieving team this year is going to be the Arizona Wildcats, bound for the Big 12 in 2024, but Arizona is going to be a sneaky team. Would not surprise me if they ended up in the top 4 of this conference at the end of the season. Jaden DeLora, the one-time Wazoo quarterback, now in Arizona, looked really good last year, and it's going to build on that even more. He's got a lot of talent. Jed Fish is building the program the right way. A rough first year, a much better second year. It's year 3 there in Arizona. It's year 3 there in Tucson. Can you put it all together? Can you get an 8-win, 9-win season? I think if there's anyone to overachieve, if there's anyone to surprise in this conference, it's Arizona. They're over under win total, Mitch, according to FanDuel, 4.5. I mean, we could get to 8. We could get to 8. A 4-game improvement, huge. So give me Arizona.
Dallen, I could not agree more because that is the same team that I had written down as Arizona. I think that with Jayden de Laura just adds a completely different dynamic to that team. And I'm going to mention another player here in about 45 seconds of, why I think this team is going to exceed expectations. Arizona definitely should be getting past that 4.5 mark. I mean, that seems exceptionally low for a team with so much talent.
For sure. Okay, Mitch, best player in the Pac-12 in 2023. Who is it?
I'm going kind of with a dark horse guy, and it's because Jayden de Laura is there. I expect this team to really outperform what they're expected to be, and I think we're going to see big things from him. Jacob Cowing, the wide receiver from Arizona. The guy's fantastic. He actually has a legitimate arm throwing him the football now. With all the other talent that's around him at Arizona, they should far exceed the win total that they're expected to be on. And Jacob Cowing could be one of the best, if not the best wide receiver in the Pac-12 by the end of the year.
Yeah, I like that pick. A little more of an underrated pick. Cowing, a very talented wide receiver out of Arizona, had a big year last year. He's a preseason second team pick at wide receiver behind Dorian Singer, the USC wide receiver, and Rome Odunze, the Washington wide receiver. But in that mix, I like that pick. I am going to go Caleb Williams. I'll just go chalk there. He is the Heisman winner. He's the best quarterback in college football and deserving of all of the hype that he is getting. So I will go Caleb Williams. Sleeper quarterback in the Pac-12. My pick this year, there are so many good options for this one, by the way. Some conferences, I really struggled with my sleeper quarterback. This one, I had too many. I had too many to pick from. But I am excited about this pick right here, Shedeur Sanders, my sleeper quarterback in the Pac-12 this year, because Shedeur should be good. Shedeur should be really good, Mitch. This was a legit prospect coming out of high school, Deion's son, who plays quarterback for Colorado. Yeah, he went to Jackson State. He followed his dad. Now he's coming over to the Power 5 ranks, and it's a lot of brand new stuff in Colorado, a lot of expectations as we've talked about, but Shedeur, that if the talent is there, it should be a fun season for Shedeur. It doesn't mean that Colorado is going to have success. Doesn't even mean they'll be good or win games, but Shedeur should be good this year. He should be electric. And we might look at the end of the season as, wow, he was one of the best quarterbacks in this conference this year. So Shedeur Sanders, he's the one I'm most interested to watch because, again, we just don't know what he is yet, but the potential sky high.
Yeah, I mean, it's this. In the words of Michael Jordan, the ceiling is the roof for this kid. It's I mean, he really is spectacular, super talented. Michael, we see your comment there too, by the way. Not a big college football fan. Don't worry, keep tuning in with us every week, buddy. We'll get you to be a college football fan. Yeah, Shedeur Sanders is hyper talented. I think that he has all the opportunity in the world. I'll get to Colorado in just a little bit and how I feel about them. But I'm also, as we talk through this, realizing I think I'm higher on Arizona than I've ever even realized I was, because I have Jayden de Laura as my sleeper quarterback.
Love that.
I think he has the opportunity to be the second best quarterback in the conference. I don't think anyone's taking Caleb Williams' reign away from him, but I think that Jayden de Laura has a serious opportunity to do that at Arizona.
I like that. Okay, Mitch, you're most disrespected in the Pac-12 this season.
I got Colorado, and they have every reason to be disrespected, right? Like, what, 1 or 2 wins over the last 2 years? Like, it's been a horrible, terrible program. You bring in Deion Sanders. He says he's bringing his luggage with him, and it's Gucci. He's bringing his guys with him to this program, I completely trust when Deion Sanders says he is going to turn this program around in a short period of time. I don't think it's going to be in 1 year. I think it may be 2 or 3 years down the road. But when Colorado is a 1-win team last year, I think it's not out of the question to think that Colorado could win 5 or 6 games this year under the new regime of Deion Sanders. I think that is completely reasonable because he has proven to be able to do that at Jackson State. And I think that he can do it here at a big-time college in Colorado. So I'm going to go with Colorado.
Yeah, my most disrespected. This was a very easy one for me, Mitch. I'm going Utah because the back-to-back Pac-12 champs are voted to finish third in this conference. And yes, USC is great. Yes, Washington's great. We picked both of those to be the best team, and yet somehow Utah seems to be the one who wins it every year. So why do we keep not expecting the Utes to do it again? Why do we not pick them to finish atop of this conference? Because if they've proven us anything over the last couple of years is that they are the team that gets it done. Not USC who's fallen short, not Oregon who's fallen short, but the Utes. So most disrespected, I'm going to Utah there.